Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Studs, coming to you from the Southeastern Connecticut Home and Garden Show at the Mohegan Sun. Here are your hosts, Colin and Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy, we're back again, buddy.
Telling you, this is amazing,
I know.
brother.
And they still haven't kicked us out.
I know.
I don't know how much longer we can go.
I don't know. They can't. I keep on paying them at the door every half hour.
That's good.
So we're staying.
You got to do that. Hey, we got two great guests. This is awesome. We have both Jim and Dennis, and they're from the American Legion. Hey, guys, how you doing?
We're doing very good this morning.
Good. So thank you very much for joining
Thanks
us. Really appreciate it.
Really, thank you for coming. Thank you.
And
Our pleasure.
so where are you guys out of?
I actually reside in Montville. But,
Okay.
my Legion's with the Post 91 Moose-Up.
Okay. Nice.
I'm from Sulington, Connecticut, and my post is in Sulington.
Okay.
All right.
Nice. That sounds good. Now, what is it you guys do?
We, excuse me,
Yeah.
advocate for the veterans. We almost like watchdogs.
Okay.
On behalf of the veterans and their families throughout the state of Connecticut and actually throughout the nation. We watch out for the well-being
Okay.
of the veterans, what's going on with the VA healthcare system,
Yep.
benefits that our veterans are entitled to, anything at all that we can do for our active troops and their families and show our support.
That's great.
That's
That is
great.
great.
Yes, we were chartered by Congress in 1919.
Okay.
Been around. This is our 101st year, and we have approximately 2 million Legionnaires. We also have.
That's one hell of a parade, man.
It is, and I've been to a few of them.
Yeah.
We also have an auxiliary. Which is
Okay.
approximately, I believe, about 600,000.
Wow.
And
That's
another
amazing.
250 to 300,000 SAL members. That's Sons of the American Legion. So we were created by the veterans of World War I.
Yeah.
Okay.
They stayed in France, to make a long story short, and said, you know something, we need to do something for all the troops going home, the injured, and the deceased, and the families of the deceased.
Yeah.
So they came up with this idea of an American Legion, which was named afterwards, after they figured out all the things they want to do.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
But it was founded on 4 pillars. And that's children and youth,
Mm-hmm.
Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation, Americanism, and national security.
Okay.
And under that, we have many different programs, and that essentially takes care of veterans, their issues, their families, and we also are extremely involved at the local level because posts are at the local level, so we're involved with the community. We go into the schools. We have fundraising for, at least in our town, for fire departments, for the police department in our town, because they have a canine unit, and we bought some stuff to help with the canine dogs.
Oh, nice.
So there's
That's very
many
nice.
different things that we do, and each post does different things. But we're all about the veterans and families.
Right.
So now, do you work with local politicians as well to kind of help get some things taken care of over there? Or?
We do have a relationship
Yep.
with. We have a town manager.
Okay.
That's at our post, but we do try and establish a relationship with whoever is in office, because we're non-political.
Okay.
We only advocate what's good for veterans and their families and the children and youth of this nation.
Oh, okay.
You know, my mind has been working since we all sat down here. Yesterday, we were approached by a gentleman who works with veterans who've been in combat and who have been injured or are disabled, and he actually reached out to us. And I think I'd like to make the connection with him and to you also, if you have anybody that's in need. He actually coordinates nonprofit with contractors, and I'm also associated with the Carpenters Union here in Connecticut to help veterans if they need like handyman stuff done around their house and stuff like that. So I think it's an excellent program. We're going to get more into it. We talked yesterday for about 15, 20 minutes, but I would love to make that connection with you guys. So if there's any other veterans that need to reach out and they need help, I mean, we can all connect the dots here and help everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's actually all part of our networking. Here in Connecticut, 5 years back, when we had our returning severely wounded soldiers coming home.
Yeah.
Under Heroes to Hometown, I worked with Helmets to Hard Hats and the local electrician unions and carpenter unions. And that's what we actually did was rehab the veterans' homes and make their home environment as comfortable as possible for them.
Yeah, great.
Through the American Legion Riders, on the local level, we try to do fundraising events in certain communities. We're able to do that in order to rehab somebody's home and give them that comfortable lifestyle.
Nice.
I also work for the American Legion. The American Legion's in me 24/7 because I also work for the Soldier Sailors Parade Fund.
Okay.
Which is temporary financial assistance for the veterans and their families. I handle Norwich and New Haven offices. And through my connection with the New Haven office, I'm tied in with the VA healthcare system over in West Haven through the Herrera Center. So I'm constantly in contact with a lot of our troops with severe TBI and PTSD.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I do a lot of networking with them, speak with them, try to tie them in with some of our therapy programs, with the horses. We have fishing with the vets.
Wow.
We have all different programs out there. But it's like you mentioned, though, what it is bringing out the awareness.
Yes.
And that's what we try to do here with the American Legion. No, we're not selling plants.
Right.
I don't have cans of paint, sitting out there.
Yeah.
But I do have applications and a ton of information out there of what we're here for.
Nice.
And that's to bring out the awareness.
I have to congratulate you. I'm a little choked up. Anyway, you guys basically got the veterans from being homeless. There's
Right.
no more homelessness really in the state of Connecticut, which I think is awesome. I mean, you've found them a home, you've put them somewhere. I mean, it's up to their mental stability if they want to live in a home, but you've given them that opportunity for housing.
Wow.
Yeah, we just opened up our. I shouldn't say we, but there was another home that was set up in Bristol, Connecticut. There's one in Jewett City as well, and the one in Jewett City is actually part of the American Legion in the same building. I believe there's 16 units there, if I'm correct, Jimmy.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah, and they have to be referred by the VA, where we work very closely with the VA. And we have our meetings with the VA commissioner. All the VSOs do, and we go back and forth about the things that we're doing, what we'd like to do, and how can we do other things.
So you're not stonewalled at all. Pretty much it's just becoming organized and moving forward, one foot in front of the other to help things. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, we're always trying to be more creative than what we have in the past. Now, we also, if there's a lot of information that's it's on our website, which is ctlegion.org. And there's a lot of there's links to that about all the different things that either veterans or active duty can go on to and find out for different types of help, whether it's a job, education, and so on. And we also have a national website, which is legion.org. And there's an incredible amount of information. You want to know anything about the Legion, that's where you go.
Right.
The one comment I'd like to bring back up, though, about the veterans' homelessness.
Yeah.
Because that's been very close and dear to me.
I'm sure.
And I'm very passionate about that.
Me too.
Here in Connecticut, in my opinion, a few years back, I think Connecticut wanted to be one of the first in the nation
Yes.
to sit back and say that we took care of the homeless veteran problem.
Yeah.
No, they haven't.
Okay.
Really?
I'm going
Okay.
to say it the way it is because
Okay, absolutely.
I leave here in 2 weeks along with the commander for Washington, D.C. And every year when we go to Washington, I bring it to our Connecticut legislators the fact that, no, we have not solved Connecticut. We've reduced the numbers.
Okay.
We've drastically reduced the numbers. But when you take a veteran and you put them in what we call transitional housing,
Right.
that's only good for 60 or 90 days.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now they're in that housing for 60, 90, or 6 months, whatever the duration is that they max out.
All right.
You're taking them out of that bed and sliding somebody else in that bed, and about 30% of them that just vacated that bed are still homeless.
Ugh.
So you have not taken care of the problem.
So how
100%.
does that happen? If you're in the system and things still ain't right, why are they getting kicked out and getting put back on the street?
They're not kicked out. A lot of it is because we're trying to house and make programs and resources available to as many veterans as possible. So there are time restrictions on that housing. But while they're in that housing, they're receiving counseling. They're given opportunities to seek employment. But a lot of them, they're still acclimated to being on the streets. They prefer to be on the streets.
Really?
That's what I'm saying. I know. I realize
Yeah.
that. Some do prefer to be on the streets. They don't want the four walls. But you have the accessibility. Is there a problem in housing veterans right now? Do you need more housing? Do you need more? What do you actually need to make it work? Like, is there a backlog? Is there a waiting list for veterans to get into get into homes, to live?
I would say, being a veteran myself,
Yes.
I would sit back and say, due to veteran pride, a lot of them are afraid to look for the resources that they need.
Sure.
I agree with you.
You need that sense of direction. You got to have
Absolutely.
that sense of
Yeah.
direction.
Right.
The same goes for one of our programs, which is equine therapy. There's a place called Shepherd Meadows on Hill Street in Bristol.
I've heard of that. Yes, I've heard of it.
And they offer free therapy for veterans.
That's great.
With horses.
Yep.
Yep.
Talking to them, walking with them, riding with them, et cetera, et cetera. The hardest thing that we were told is to actually get a veteran in there to do that.
Really?
The next hardest thing would be getting transportation. We're working on that now.
Right.
Yep.
Getting the word out. But that's one of the hardest things to do is get somebody to admit, yeah, I really need some help. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Sure.
So is you would know? Is there like a sponsorship, just like in AA and and in addiction, there's a sponsor that once they make a connection with someone, there's a sponsor. There's a veteran sponsor that can take care of somebody that's either homeless or dealing with the mental issues. That they can always reach out to them, call them, find them, and try to make sure that they're okay.
Well, there's a fine line when you say sponsor.
Right.
Because if number one thing, veteran needs to get into the VA system.
Okay.
You have to get into that system. That's the biggest step they can do.
And how do they do that?
They'll apply at the VA in either Newington or West Haven.
Okay.
Get into that system. And then there's veteran service officers there that will take their case if they need that, or they'll be assigned a doctor. Whatever their needs are, the VA will figure it out and go from
Okay.
there. I belong to the VA system. Jimmy does. I've been going there for over 20 years.
Wow.
I haven't heard. I've met with veterans who've come back from Fallujah and Mosul. Came back from Iraq, that are in the system, that they are struggling, but they have the opportunity, they have the accessibility, they're a phone call away to make that call or to go, or which I think I commend you guys for doing that. I dealt with a couple veterans that with post-traumatic stress disorder, and the biggest thing was that if they were in trouble, they could make a phone call and someone's on the other end at
Yes.
2:00 in the morning.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is it's the buddy system that we have.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I deal with veterans every day, 7 days a week, and they have issues, but
We all have
it's-
issues.
you know,
Right.
yeah.
Have I got issues? Let me tell you.
Bottom line is that it's the approach you take. You have to know the veteran and the approach you take, and a lot of times it's not sitting with someone in the VA systems. It could be just sitting with someone outside of the VA system that can identify. And that's the thing. You need to be able to identify, say, I know what you're going through, or sometimes you don't even talk about it. It's just like if they have an issue, you can talk them through it. Doesn't always work, but at least you try. Whole point is getting to know a veteran and whether they have some major issues or not.
How you doing? How you doing?
Myself?
Yeah.
I'm doing great.
He's got issues.
I know.
You got his back. I love it.
Yeah, my issue is I'm commander.
Yeah.
5 more months, but who's counting?
Yeah.
Oh my God, guys! I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you're
You
my
guys do
heroes.
amazing stuff.
You're my heroes.
Absolutely.
Really.
Yeah, we love the veterans. It's just,
Yeah.
it's like we're still serving America.
Right.
Right.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
that's what it's all about.
Uh huh. Wow.
The one thing I wanted to bring up, though, for simplicity, it's a lot of information to try to remember, but especially where you have questions, about veterans benefits or reaching out to the Department of Veterans Affairs or getting enrolled into the VA healthcare system or something like that. The simplest thing to remember is American Legion.
Yep.
Any questions, you just go ahead and call your local Legion post. Even if you're not interested in joining that local post, at least reach out to the American Legion. We'll steer you in the right direction. We'll give you the information that you need.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah?
That's awesome. So what do you need from people that are listening, that aren't veterans? What can they do? How can they get involved?
That are not veterans?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can help us still go out and show your support for the veterans and their family members. If you fly an American flag, treat it with respect.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
That's another one of my big pet peeves, and I hate saying it, but when I travel around the state and I see around state, not state buildings, but certain town halls or right outside of schools on town property, tattered or faded flags, still flying. This is America. We got to respect the flag.
Absolutely.
These are the same flags that are draped over the coffins of our
Absolutely.
dearly lost soldiers.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct.
There's approximately 150 posts in Connecticut.
Really?
Almost one for every town. And some towns, the
Wow.
larger towns, have more than one. To get the word out, to market it, so to speak,
Yep.
it's just that I think every non-veteran, and including veterans, should know where their local post is.
Sure.
Yeah, I know what mine is.
Yep.
There
I
you
got
go.
one in Clinton. I know where that is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bang.
Post 66.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome building.
I was there
Awesome
last
people.
week.
Wait,
Oh,
really?
boy. Oh, boy.
Ah, great
I was
place.
there for oratorical contest.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was great. Fantastic.
Good people who run that.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. That's
Yep.
where I got. That's where I got the information.
Oh,
that was like 2 years ago
From
that they told me.
Commander Jimmy
It warmed
Ray?
my heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow, guys. I mean, this was awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the
Yeah.
time to
I'm glad
join
you
us
guys
on our
were here.
show and kind of
Yeah.
educate some people for
Yeah,
us.
our
So-
pleasure.
Thank you.
and educate
Our
myself
pleasure to
too.
be
So
here.
Oh,
thank
man.
you.
Can't tell you that.
All right, gentlemen. Have a great rest of the show here. All right.
Lots
See
to
you
be
guys.
thankful for, huh?
Take care.
Thank
All
you,
right.
God.